Thank you. Call the meeting in order, June 2nd workshop, June 2nd, 2026 workshop. Stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There's the back.
Do we turn it over to you, Lapita?
Oh, yeah, I'll call roll call.
Okay.
Paul McKitka,
Here.
Scott Chapis,
Here.
Lisa Smith,
Here.
Joanne Soman.
Here.
So one of the things that we had talked about at the last workshop was looking at some of the districts, some of the zoning districts that we have, and making sure that it's aligned with its current use. And this was a little bit of a task that was presented to us by Mr. Martin Dale. So we're going to start by looking at the very beginning boundary of the city on the north end on 23rd Street. And I'm not sure, did everybody get a property chart? Yeah, okay. So when you look at your property chart, you'll see that we have empty lots, residential lots, empty lots, and we have through, I guess, 4 commercial in that area. And so currently tourist commercial, what they allow under the commercial, plus they allow everything that is in MDR, permitted uses. So that's townhomes, single family, multifamily, etc. One of the things that's the most difficult, I think, in the city is the competing interest between commercial and residential. It's because it's competing, it causes some complexities in the city with those competing interests. So if we looked at that district and we wanted to see what do we want it to become, that would be one way to look at either keeping it tourist commercial. The other item would be, how do we feel about deleting the permitted uses number 13, which is all of everything that's allowed in MDR to be allowed in tourist commercial. The comprehensive plan says residential in this area is supposed to be mixed use, not just single family. I think part of what happened may have been before we knew short-term rentals were not going to be considered commercial, which they're just considered residential, they're not considered commercial, which makes it also difficult in the building department because you're building something in the commercial district, we're not getting commercial taxes for it. Is it homesteaded, and is it built to commercial standards? So there's just a lot of additional issues that come up that aren't aligned with the district. Is there anything I need to add to that or not? So I think it's would be a good discussion for the board to kind of consider sometimes character areas. What do you want it to become? What is it, or keep it the same? And we can start with that block.
Can we not, when someone wants to go build a single family and use it for an Airbnb, can we not make them build it as a general use, not as a residential use? And therefore tax them as a general use? And
you would essentially, what you'd be doing is they would be building then, well, depending on the form of it, it would be hotel, motel, or actual bed and breakfast, all of which are commercial uses allowed in the tourist commercial. And so what really makes a short-term rental as opposed to a bed and breakfast or hotel motel is the fact that it is a residential unit that is being used as a short-term rental.
'Cause that's why I'm,
So and that's, I think, kind of what Lupita is talking about. With this, it is an issue of form more than use. Because you would still allow transient residential uses in tourist commercial. You just would no longer be allowed to build a single-family residence
and use it that way.
that becomes a transient residential. The single-family residential that becomes a transient residential is a short-term rental or a vacation rental.
Mm-hmm.
The form, if you were to build the commercial form of the same thing, bed and breakfast. And so I think that kind of aligns what you're saying, is that you wouldn't stop allowing vacation rentals
Right.
that exist in tourist commercial.
Mhm.
You just would not allow new vacation rentals to be built. But I can still build a transient residential lodging. It would be a bed and breakfast instead of a vacation rental.
Well, it would, I would assume that it would cost more to build general commercial, or commercial unit than a residential unit.
The-
And tax them accordingly, and therefore take away the incentive to want to use it as a residential unit. Because the
Right.
guy decides 10 years down the road, he goes, I'm tired of this, I'm just gonna live there. Okay, you're gonna live there, but you're still paying us what your zoning says you ought to be paying us.
It's hard for anyone to build commercial on these lots because we
So-
now have the parking restrictions.
Yeah.
We now have stormwater for commercial properties. You have these abut, well, on these particular ones they don't, but a lot of them abut a residential, so you have to have the wall.
Yeah.
You can't get enough parking in a big enough
No,
commercial building
It's the
with
biggest,
ADA standards
Yep.
to accommodate any size.
no,
But multi-use, like if you have an office downstairs with, residential upstairs, to me is what's ideal for it, but that's just my.
And that goes, through, North 11th Street.
Yes.
And then those boundaries end. So, I mean, so the question is,
Do we know when the multi-use area or overlay, whatever we call it, was established?
it's back in 2005,
Five.
yeah.
Was there a reason it stopped, you know?
Yeah, it was part of the design guidelines, and so, there's, which I just looked at it today, the parking appetite, and our capacity, of course, the appetite's gone up, but the capacity hasn't changed much. So it was centered around that parking and, where they were calling the central business district, and then later on it changed again, because it used to be combined use, and it went to mixed use. And then it changed, again, so the central business district, no additional parking requirements. And then the north and south parking, requirements, 40% off for your required. And so those boundaries, they're currently getting set up right now in Griddix. We do have the short-term rental, internally set up, you
Yeah.
saw that?
Yeah,
And those
the
are for the
grandfathered ones.
Yep,
Yeah.
those are for the grandfathered in, so there must be 180 some of those legal, Airbnbs, okay, thank you.
It's hard too when you know, your parking can no longer back out onto A1A.
Right, right.
Like my office, I back out onto A1A, but now I don't. I
Right.
back in the morning, so I don't back out, but it's dangerous to back out. But there's not enough room to get a turnaround.
Yeah, I guess my question is, you know, how much tourist commercial do we have outside of the mixed-use zone? Like,
A lot.
Lot,
yeah,
just about all of A1A.
I mean, would it make sense to just allow mixed use in all of tourist commercial?
Yeah.
And then we decide if this area makes sense to still be tourist commercial?
Right. But to me, just like, and I'll use Mr. Barnhill's property as an example, you know, he designed that building and then he turned it around to make the parking go out on A1A. And now he's being told, well, you have to put this wall in on one side, which is because someone was allowed to build a residential home in
Commercial
tourist
district.
commercial.
Right.
So then that commercial person is being penalized
Yep.
by having to build a
Because
wall
that
that's
guy-
gonna look silly too.
Because the other guy basically didn't.
Because the other guy
Yeah,
was given
an okay to do
an
something.
okay to
that
do
Probably
something.
shouldn't have, yeah.
Right. I mean, if, to me, I would be okay still allowing single-family residential in the tourist commercial if someone really wanted. But I would want to take away those extra burdens that it would place on other property owners
Yeah.
to accommodate it. Since it is it, I know we've discussed this a lot in the last few meetings, is it still an exception or a special exception to do single-family in tourist commercial?
No.
But we said it used to be or something? Because I remember we talked about we had to make them come here to be like, you're building in commercial.
It used to be at one point because
Yeah.
the comp plan says,
Well, that was zoning, it
Differently.
was special exception under zoning, has that changed?
That's not changed because everything that's permitted in MDR is permitted by right.
yeah,
Hey, right.
Yes.
Because if someone wants to build that, that's fine, but you may have a commercial
that's my
building
point.
next to you at some point.
If you wanna build your residential home in commercial or tourist commercial, then that's just, you understand that's what you're doing, and there could be,
And why are
like,
we penalizing the new guy to build a wall
Right.
when the old guy really shouldn't have put his use there to begin with? So I don't know if I don't know if that rule can change or not, but I think it's unfair to Barnhill that he's gotta build a wall because that guy basically put something where he shouldn't have.
It's in the code, but it's changeable. I mean, it
Yeah.
would take an ordinance to change it, but it could be changed by ordinance, yes.
What
That
does the
was-
wall do?
that was added in
Right.
to the code,
Oh.
and that was added, I know it was added in, I'm trying to think the year, but I know the subject came up when the old Johnny D's was still there, and then he added the deck up on the second
Mhm.
floor, and the city said, oh, you have to build a concrete wall in the back between the two properties, and that's when it was all occurring. So that was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, and maybe that's something we could
Hypothetical date.
tighten up in the code. I could see it if you're building
Yeah.
a commercial property that abuts a residential zoned property.
Right.
But if it's two
Which is-
commercial properties and one just happens to have a residence on it,
Then that's his problem.
Right.
He really shouldn't
Right.
have built that thing.
In the instance where you're getting a special exception to use the single-family lot for parking next to a tourist commercial
not
lot.
bad, absolutely.
Well,
Yep.
this would be great,
Right, agree.
but to have one wall and not a wall in the back and not on, it just kind of seems like,
It's silly.
yeah.
Some other things I think that we should probably take into consideration is that there has been some discussion about reduced parking requirements. I'm not sure how much traction that's getting, but we do have a RFQ, I think, that's headed out for that, to tackle that very challenge that most cities have, but particularly, what we're experiencing. So those are some items to consider. And I think too, if you are going to have a mixed use way down there, what is it really going to work? Because you're so far outside the central business district. There isn't a like a catalyst anchor down there like you would if there was one. Then it would be part of the multiplier effect that it would spur others. So I think those are some things to consider on where we do want to preserve tourist commercial and where it really can be viable. Not if people really want to do it and then they're going to
Well, the businesses that are allowed in tourist commercial are somewhat limited to, I mean, a real estate office, there are a few office uses, but like, you can't have a builder can't have an office in tourist commercial.
Well, I did
So
think that
there's-
from the last meeting, we did talk about adding some
Yeah.
uses to tourist commercial. That, to spice
Right.
it up, what activities can actually happen in the tourist commercial. And I think that's something that, the board should consider what would be viable. Now, I am getting an app that's called the Business Analyst. from Esri, and that actually tells us what our leakage and what our gap is, and helps to identify what we're leaving the city for. Of course, everything now can be delivered, but normally, what do we have to leave in order to be able to meet that need? So those small businesses, entrepreneur businesses could be.
So then we
Uh,
can only
recruited.
have so many coffee shops and so many, ice cream shops before it reaches a point of,
No leakage there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for this area specifically, I mean, Java Joint's there. And that's a long-term business.
Yeah.
Jose Gaspar.
Yeah,
And
maybe the long.
the old Turtle Shack is rebuilt.
That's being rebuilt.
Yeah, we'll see what goes in there. So, I mean, there are things down that way. It is kind of an island, as far as commercial goes. I think the next closest commercial is what, like,
A ways down.
it's a ways down,
Yeah.
yeah.
10th, 12th.
Yeah, maybe in that mixed-use area, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of, I would lean towards leaving it towards commercial and kind of letting the market decide. You know, if someone thinks they can put something in that's going to succeed, go for it. If they don't, then it becomes residential, so be it. I think there's still enough there, commercial-wise right now, that it could make sense to keep it that way. But I do like the idea of us looking at tourist commercial more closely about what's allowable. And then maybe some of the other ordinances not to penalize commercial properties.
When you get back to the allowability, if that's a word, parking becomes the issue.
Yep.
Do we want to discuss parking? Or is
We
that,
could discuss parking. We already have in the code shared parking. So if there's two businesses side by side, because
right,
off A1A, you have to have a 24-foot access versus a 12-foot access for residential. So, so there is some barriers there to redevelopment or development because of the parking requirements.
Drew, maybe you can help on this one. Where was I? was walking around somewhere, and I thought about this, and it's like, there's a lot of vacant land not being used, not land, but businesses that aren't open all the time. And I know they don't allow parking in there because of liability. Is there a way for the city to get an umbrella policy that would cover the bank building? A huge parking lot sitting there, it's closed off. What if the city had a liability policy that said, all right, Mr. Owner, you're not responsible for any parking lot issues. We've got a policy that'll cover that. Open it up when you're not using it.
Less of a mandate, and cities do this.
Okay.
Orlando, I mean, Maitland even, we have an agreement with one of the banks that's closed down. But it's kind of a two-part thing. One is the insurance. Insurance is actually the easy part because of policies we already carry, but the city will lease those lots. So it's not that you have to open it up, it's that we're literally paying you to use that
open it
as
up.
public parking.
And all the time, or just during their closed
Depends on
down?
terms of the lease.
Depends on terms of the lease,
Depends on
okay. It's just food for thought, because I was like, the bank building's a good one. I mean, you can walk around and look at a bunch of these, and it might only be 4 or 5 spots, but hey,
Yeah.
everyone counts around here these
Well, what
days,
about
so.
parking in where the drive-through was? Is that open for parking now? Because nobody's using a drive-through.
I think the whole parking lot's available.
Is it private?
It's
right now,
yeah, it's
right now
privately
it's-
owned, and it's been blocked off as far as I know.
Yeah.
So there's no parking going on there,
So
and
what's
it's
the
prime, the bank, it's
Yeah.
a prime lot.
If it's private, and I mean, if it's private and not signed, they're not enforcing it, but if it's private, it's up to them whether or not they want to allow parking.
So even if the
But
city
we're not
goes-
allowing that to be a drive-through.
Sorry?
No.
No, that'll change when the building gets
Right.
renovated. If we
If
decide.
they chose to open up the
What
lot,
are we doing with that building?
Because it's not, it's private property. The city isn't doing anything with it.
Right.
It's not owned by the city.
But I thought there was some talk about
There was.
tearing it down.
Well, no. Well, there's been folks who've come up with concept plans.
Okay.
The owner has been willing to sell, and so the permit that they had already expired.
Yeah.
But
It
we
looks
do,
terrible.
yes,
approved
we
that
do
one
have
2 years ago.
Yeah.
didn't we?
some design guidelines and some redevelopment minimum area standards that the code enforcement are working with Drew's office to move forward with what we can do there.
Okay.
So,
So it's something we can look at, or at least consider. I mean, reach out to these businesses and see if we can get them to lease their lot on the hours they're not using them.
Like Swillerby's now, the
Yeah,
old bank.
Swillerby's is a good one.
I'm not sure what their hours are.
Church lot, there's a vacant lot, what is it, Third? There's a church on the corner, and then across the Third or Fourth from them is a wide open lot, and the church owns it, but
Yeah.
again,
Right now, it's that
Well, it's
surface
expired.
parking is allowed in general commercial. So, for example, when one of the restaurants wanted to do valet parking, they could do it as long as they were going to another general commercial
mhm.
zoned area. So there'd have to be, make sure that the use is still allowable. Because then, we're gonna allow something that's not a permitted use, so.
I think what Scott is talking about relieves the practical parking burden. I don't think you would not use a city lot for required parking.
No.
Because as soon as
Right.
that property owner wants to develop, they're gonna pull back they're gonna have a
Mhm.
term in there, they can pull it back. So you wouldn't use it for required parking. I think it just relieves the overall parking burden downtown. To have this conversation.
Right.
I'd also say if you know any businesses that are in that predicament where they want extra parking to have extra parking, not because they need it for a future development or an expansion, they also have that same ability. They can go to any vacant lot owner and say, hey, can I park in your lot?
Right,
If it's zoned general commercial. That's a conversation you and I had when somebody was asking. Okay.
all right, so one more thought on the parking is what are the odds of, and this is gonna go over well, we raise the height another 6, 8 feet, and then everything gets built on pylons and parking's underneath. So your whole 5,080, 50 by 100 lot, or 50 by 150, whatever it is, can be a parking lot. Then your building starts on floor 2 and 3. and-
You'd never be able to afford it on a 50 by, I mean, to be a bit, unless you were gonna own or occupy the building, you'd never be able to rent it out enough to even cover.
But that's not our concern is the affordability. Our concern is can we get more, can this guy's building, Ted's building, a place and quite honestly, I don't think 10 cars is enough parking for the building he's putting up, but it fits within the rules that we have.
Yeah.
But if he were to raise that up and we could put 20 cars under there, now he's got enough parking. Sure, it costs him more, but that's the cost of doing business in an area where we have this problem.
People can do it now, just you'll only be able to build out 2 floors.
Well, that's the thing. That's why if we raise the height 10 feet,
Yeah, I
we get
don't-
away with that.
I don't think
We
that's
could-
gonna happen.
Well, let's talk about what's the value of property when you take away air rights. And that's essentially what we've done. You can't go more than 35 feet or 40, whatever the number is these
35.
days.
But they
And-
put it, I
and-
mean, they put it in, it's not like we could change it.
No, that's in the charter.
It's in the charter.
Right.
So there's no change in the height.
You mean charter amendment, but that would have to go to vote of the
Vote of the public.
And that's not happening.
Yeah.
And I would
Let
say that
everybody,
the
what,
commission
everybody
probably has
comes to
no
me and says,
desire for that.
parking's a problem, parking's a problem, parking's a problem. Great, send me a solution, I'll take it to City Hall. Nobody answers the question.
And I always
Not
say there's
ideas,
always-
that's all I'm
Well,
saying.
and
I got some ideas.
honestly, it might be a problem right here, but I come over here a lot at night, probably just like you do, and if I wanna go to the ice cream store, maybe I have to park 3 blocks down, but
You can always
that's
find
what I need to
parking
do
if
if I'm
you're
gonna eat
willing to.
ice cream. So, yeah, no, you can't park at the front door, but if I go to St. Augustine for dinner, I gotta walk a half a mile to park somewhere and get to where I wanna eat dinner,
Right.
and then roll myself back down the sidewalk,
I think some ideas coming out of the mobility plan will
Yeah.
help with the downtown parking, so I'm not super concerned about that. You do bring up a good point about the tourist commercial, though, that it can be a challenge to put in a commercial entity because of parking requirements. Now, that being said, it limits what use it could be. If you have a little couple 100 square foot shop, then we only need a couple spots and you could fit that.
One with a 24-foot driveway,
Yeah, it kills
you have to have your parking in the front. There's no other option, because then you're looking at you have a 5-foot setback on this side, and then you got a 24-foot driveway on this side. Your building is a hallway.
When did,
Yeah,
I know we don't allow parking access from Central because it abuts the residential, or it's
only in mixed
adjacent
use.
to, is that the right term?
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't abut because Central is a street adjacent to.
yeah.
So we don't allow parking off Central because it's adjacent to the residential. When did that come into play?
Residential can have
Yes,
rear
residential.
access, but any commercial component, yes.
Yes. Right, but you don't want a commercial component coming in off of Central and parking and using Central then as a minor arterial for, I mean, using a collector street for, you know.
That hasn't always been that way, though. That was added
Yeah.
more recently.
That was added at the same time that we went from combined use to mixed use.
Okay.
That same 2015 probably for that one.
I mean, would there be any, like, no, I don't want to Central's a local street. I don't want to turn it into a collector. But it is also a potential wasted opportunity for some parking, some minor parking. You know, I'm not saying, like, let's open up parking lot access to the back where you're going to have dozens of cars coming in and out. But, you know, could we have parallel street parking on Central that could function for a business, but would still be a very limited amount? You know, like you said, just trying to get creative.
It
'Cause,
also,
I mean, technically right now, like, you can park in the grass in the city right away along any street.
yeah.
So if a commercial business was open there, someone could go behind and park in the grass, and it's allowable.
Just right by the Catholic church on Sunday morning.
Right.
And they're
Right.
parked in the grass all the way around the church.
Yep.
And there's 100 empty parking spaces
In the parking lot.
in their parking lot, which is literally,
Yep.
I know they're 20 or 30 steps. With golf cart access. Yes.
Right.
Oh, but it's allowable. I mean, there's no reason they can't.
There's no parking signs.
Okay, well, all right. So first of all, there's no parking signs. That's a different story.
But we don't.
But if there are no signs, you're allowed. I mean, any street in the city, you can park in the
Yeah.
grass on the
Well, I
right.
park on the grass and walk to breakaways.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I'm just trying to think, like, if there was any way I don't want to open up Central to be a parking free-for-all, but if there was any way to give credit for some parking along Central for a commercial business, maybe it could be a consideration we could think about. Obviously, it would have to be very limited. Don't want to disrupt residences.
Well, some other things that are happening up through there, the marine, the trail will be going up through there.
Central.
Yeah, so there'll be some other activities that could be, create some synergy for that area, perhaps.
Bike shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a bike shop as an example, because it is, if we think a little bit about, not right now, but what's coming, not only from the mobility plan, but from some other plans like that trail, it might open up some additional opportunities that they could get some synergy from there. It doesn't answer the parking requirement that all, unless we reduce the parking requirement. I mean, that's something that this board can discuss and recommend to the city commission for, these smaller lots, 50 by 100. Michelle can tell you how many people come in and have ideas and want to know what they can do, but don't come back because there isn't enough parking.
Could there be a parking pool type concept on a area by area basis? I mean, there's parallel parking on A1A fronting this whole thing. And a lot of these are residences that probably don't use parallel parking on A1A.
Yeah.
And yeah, you may have to walk down the street to get to a bike shop, but it's a block away. But right now they wouldn't be able to get credit for that parking.
Well, you can have 40%. 40% of your parking can be off site up in this area, right?
No, it only
Not
goes
in
to
here?
11th Street
Only to 11th.
and south, and north,
So maybe that's something to
south
consider.
13th, north 11th.
And you'd have to back out into traffic. Yeah, no, you're right.
City already, so why can't we extend that down to, I don't know.
There would have to be enough.
We were in that
But there isn't up here.
Oh, you mean on the beach side? Ooh.
Yeah.
That could be a regulatory. Yeah.
I wish they could get through their environmental stuff to get their trail to start.
What site can I go on to learn more about that trail?
You know, I have a report for you guys that includes other things that you asked me. The trail. I have,
Sun Trail?
Yeah.
Sun Trail. There is a website.
I do have that report started.
I may have it too, because a lady came to the FP3 meeting, like, maybe a year ago, and she gave out a preliminary, through the DOT rep.
That hasn't been determined yet.
Yeah.
So right now it's in, so if you go to cflroads.com,
Okay.
that's the FDOT District 5,
CFL?
CFL Central Florida, yeah, roads.com. That has all the projects that FDOT has, but you'll be able to find the trail.
Part of my driveway to do it. I have no idea.
So it's currently in the PD&E study phase, so they're trying to figure out where it would potentially go. One of the concepts was having it jump down 10th to go down Flagler to Wickline and then back over.
Over at the light. Yes.
Dale's interested in potentially putting a mega boardwalk along that whole stretch and keeping it by the ocean. I mean, there's different options, but TBD.
So I think that probably kind of brings us back to some options. Do we consider reducing parking for these areas that are outside of the central business district, which requires no new parking, and then it extends for reduced parking at 40%.
I think allowing 40% off-site, because most of those people may only need one. You know, if you're opening an office that's 1,000 square feet, you've got to have, 4 spaces. So if you can get 2 or 3 on the front, then you can have one off. That might be the difference in having someone there or not there.
Besides mixed use, besides parking, what are the other differences right now between tourist commercial in the downtown area versus tourist commercial outside?
The tourist commercial in the downtown area, there's no additional parking.
Right, so that's parking, and mixed use is allowed.
Mhm.
Are there any other differences as far as like zoning restrictions and requirements?
No, if you're in the A1A corridor design guidelines, you follow those guidelines. If you're in the residential neighborhood guidelines, you follow those guidelines. If you're in the
What I'm getting at is it doesn't make sense just to make tourist commercial the same requirements throughout the
Well,
entire city limits.
general commercial, you can also do one side,
zero
Zero
lot
lot.
line.
so you got 5 more feet. Which
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
But like right now, so this area of tourist commercial we're talking about has greater restrictions than tourist commercial in the
Yes.
downtown area.
Yes, it does.
Would it make sense just to expand the downtown requirements for all tourist commercial? Does that kind of solve our problems?
Yes, except for on the north side, you're going to get some pushback from folks who would rather not see more commercial.
Well, but it's already zoned commercial.
Because of the mixed use.
Well, maybe some or majority of the guidelines, but not the 0 lot line.
Right.
Keep the 10 feet between 5.
Well, do we allow 0 lot lines in tourist commercial downtown?
And if you're in the A1A design, if you're in the A1A regional
In
corridor,
tourist?
yes, if
Okay.
you're all the way up
I know
to
we did in
13th.
general. I wasn't sure if we did
Yeah.
in tourist.
So you have up to 13th.
Yeah, maybe except for that.
Yeah.
I'd be open to that. It'd probably be worth looking at all the A1A corridor guidelines and making sure there weren't any other ones that,
Yeah.
like that. I guess that'd be the kind of route I'd want to go. You mentioned this was the northernmost one working south. Did you guys look at the condos, the Ocean Marina condos? I mean, are those appropriately zoned? Because they're general commercial,
General commercial.
but it's all residential. It's on Front Hill.
Right, so this is just a beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, we're,
That one's more north.
yeah, that was close, we, yeah.
They actually allow weekly rentals also in a lot of those.
Yeah,
So that's why,
because I can.
that's why the, yeah.
What's your address, Paul?
For which one?
The condos?
Oh, just go north a
North
smidge.
23rd Street, Ocean Marina.
Go north a little more. The big red blob. Keep going. Nope, other way. Keep going. Right there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
big blob.
Uh-huh.
Marina Bay and
Yeah. Why is that general commercial?
what I'm asking you.
I mean, every day there's something.
Always, it's always been,
Yep.
So,
Those things in the late 80s.
Wasn't that a trailer park for a while? Someplace up
Yeah.
there? When Jim and Leanne Cox bought their house.
I'm guessing they wouldn't be happy about changing that because then they wouldn't be able to do short-term rentals. So it's probably a
Yeah.
non-starter. But
yeah,
I don't
Marina
think they
Bay,
have short-term rentals in there, do they?
Ocean Marina was built in.
for weeks.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of short-term rentals in
And
there.
do they have them in there?
Yeah.
General commercial.
But in the back, the ones that are
We've had a couple of them.
two-story
that
ones,
have-
those are months, minimum of 3 months. But that's just in their condo documents. It's not because
Nothing
it's,
to do with zoning,
yeah.
it has to do with them, yes.
but Oceanside at Beverly Beach, right across the line, you can do weekly rentals there too.
Well, that's outside our limits. Yep.
Beverly Beach.
So do they,
Beverly Beach.
Beverly Beach, yeah.
I mean, is this homesteaded too? Or
Yes.
is it-
Yeah.
Well,
Some of them,
Those folks are
some of them are. Maybe, I would say, it used to be not, but maybe now, maybe it's, I don't know, I'm guessing 50-50. A lot of them are second homes or vacation properties.
so what would happen if they went to multifamily residential? What would they lose?
They would lose the ability for short-term rentals. Although the current ones would be grandfathered in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wouldn't, short-term rentals.
They'd lose that option.
Yeah, it's a big selling feature.
Yeah, I'm sure it
It's
is.
an incredible selling feature.
But I mean, if they could be grandfathered in, well,
But the ones that don't have them wouldn't be grandfathered as well. Only those
oh, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah.
short-term rentals are grandfathered in.
It's the only complex in the city where you just automatically know that it's allowed. All the ones down on the south end, unless they already have a grandfathered license
Yep.
that prevent it.
So when I was doing the calculations, I went by the zoning map, so if it was commercial, then I applied what the commercial use is.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times, so I was applying commercial use to residential use and vice versa. So.
It's interesting, I only have 4 registered permits in Ocean Marina.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ocean Marina. There's 2.
Yeah, how about the Marina Bay?
Yeah, Marina Bay is the other one,
Right.
Marina Bay.
Yep.
The front one
Much
is
newer.
Marina Bay, yes.
which has a
Marina-
shorter time
The
period.
one in the back only allows 3 months or more.
Marina Bay, and what's the other one called?
Ocean Marina.
Ocean Marina. I confuse it with the one in Palm Coast that's,
They flood. Ocean Marina had to have flooded during.
no,
Bottom floors didn't flood at Ocean Marina.
the one in the very back,
Yeah.
those are sitting up. They have crawl spaces under them.
Oh, I know they do, but the water was pretty high.
You can crawl under some of them.
Surprised.
Yeah, it's all on the AE. They're all on the AE back there, so I'm surprised.
No,
Yeah, I don't know of any that flooded, but
Okay.
there is a lot of space under them. Like, it doesn't look like it, but when you actually get down there, yeah, it goes down.
I think that was his only way to build them up out of which was to satisfy requirements.
Yeah.
Should ever be redeveloped, it might encourage it to redevelop commercially.
Like it's gonna rain out there.
Yeah.
Fine. I'd rather preserve commercial.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, honestly, and even preserve tourist commercial, but there's barriers to development, so we have to remove those barriers somehow. So what I'm hearing right now is, maybe extending the, A1A design guidelines to allow mixed use from 13th to 23rd. 10 blocks.
Wanna do the same thing south,
Oh, yeah, I was thinking for city limit.
city limits?
Ci- Citywide, yeah.
Tourist commercial citywide will be the same no matter where it is.
I mean, some of you were involved when those tourist commercial zones got designated in the first place, right? I mean,
Right.
that was kind of the intent, was it, for those pockets
Right.
to all be kind of the same, right? So,
At the time, there was more, 25 years ago, there was more like strings of 5 or 6 lots together where
Sure.
someone could have built a little, I don't know, little strip building with something in it.
Yeah.
But it just never, there was some old motels up and down through there that got torn down.
Yeah.
Like really old houses.
so is it, I know there's only 4 of us here, but is that how are we all thinking that's a decent route to explore?
Yeah.
So,
So we're gonna include, the mixed-use A1A retail corridor up and down North A1A, and,
Except for this,
We'd like to look at it further.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to look at all, yeah, we need to look at all the, restrictions or requirements and make sure they make sense outside of the downtown core, but the 0 lot line was one that we thought of, but there could be others that we'd want to look at as well.
okay, so I'm gonna send you all the design guidelines and the boundary where they go to. And then while this map is, I'm going back and forth with the Gridix engineers because it's like, this is a central business district existing. This is the CRA boundary, not to be confused with the A1A design guideline boundary.
I'd rather simplify things.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do it in a map. So, what about, do we wanna consider having the reduced parking here too, the 40%?
yes.
I think so.
Okay. Okay. So the other thing that we talked about at the last meeting, that we'll also prepare is the applications that you saw at the last meeting. So we're gonna codify those, and the graphics for the signage. You saw the wall sign, all the graphics that were, remember that from the last meeting? Okay, so I'll bring those forward in August, and I'm saying August because I don't think we're gonna have a July meeting.
I'm gonna be gone in August.
Oh,
Just,
Okay.
I think I am too,
I-
actually.
When's our August meeting? I might also be gone.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going in July.
okay.
July, I will be here. Wow, August 4th. I'm here.
I believe I'm at a conference that week.
Oh, no, I'm not. I won't be here for August. I'll be in Iceland.
Oh, Bill just got back from there. He
so
said it
3
looked
of
like
us
the
will be
moon.
gone for August then.
So,
I'll know by the end of this week if anybody submits by the deadline.
oh, today's deadline was TRC
Yeah, they have till June 4th
for PARB.
for the park.
Well, then maybe we do have a July meeting just for that and not an August meeting. Although July is 4.
Or can we move the August meeting? Is
Yeah,
that an
or
option?
move the July meeting.
Or move it, yeah. There's plenty of options.
Yeah, we can move the August meeting, right?
Yeah.
Right, Michelle, we can move the August meeting?
Oh, you want to change the meeting date?
Because we won't have
Maybe.
anybody in August. He'll be at a conference.
I'm gone, Joanne's gone.
Joanne's in Iceland, Lisa's.
I get back on the 13th.
Mhm.
So we may not have a
You
quorum.
would only have 3. 4, you would have 4.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah, you would have enough.
Yeah, all we need is 4.
If the other 4 people are gonna be here.
And so,
One other question, Lapita, the
Mhm.
24-foot driveway, that's a DOT
that's a DOT. Mhm.
thing?
We do have a reduced shared,
But
that A1A, that FDOT doesn't,
that's for commercial, or that doesn't apply to
it
residential?
does not apply to residents,
Okay.
just commercial.
Do they have any control outside of the right of way? Like if we put in a 24-foot apron to the right-of-way line, then can the driveway be whatever we want it to be?
We can try.
Yeah, slap that apron in, I don't care, and then we can make more room for ourselves, potentially.
Ooh, the
Do you know
rain
anything
is
about
coming.
that, Drew? No? Okay.
So we are gonna have an August meeting, and for those who aren't gonna be here, we're gonna bring forward the sign graphics for codification. We can send those again if you don't have them. The applications. And I think that's it. Definitions, maybe. And that's moving everything forward from our workshop. Okay, so are we gonna, and so we're also gonna, again, I'm gonna send all the guidelines so we can have one more discussion before we make the recommendation to Dale and the city about the church commercial.
Look at the rain.
It's competing.
Holy moly.
Glad y'all made it in before it opened up.
57 minutes.
57,
That's what it said. Rain will continue for the next 57 minutes.
55 or 60.
Yes, Lupita, I think that sounds right.
Okay. Sign graphics and applications. Okay. All right, well, that pretty much concludes our workshop. Thank you for agreeing to come early and go through this. So I'll forward all the design guidelines so you can see the difference. I'll re-forward again the sign graphics and the applications so that you can take one more look at those for the August meeting.
So did you say July, we're not having a meeting, or we don't know?
We don't
yet?
know.
Okay,
We'll know by Friday, or by the 4th.
Yeah, after the 4th.
after the 4th.
Yes, this week.
Either way, I won't be here.
Well, Lupita, if there's any way to share all that,
For June, for July, okay.
if there's any way to share all that material sooner than later for the August meeting, I'd be happy to look at it and provide feedback, even though I won't be here. But the sooner the better on that.
This week.
Do we need a motion to adjourn our workshop? Motion to adjourn the workshop.
Can I second it? I'll second that. All right, cool. Meeting adjourned.
Call the meeting to order. This is the Planning and Architectural Review Board. I'm just going to go off the fly real quick. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd. It is 5:30 p.m. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's buried in her. Let's have a roll call. Paul McKitka.
Here.
Scott Chapis.
Here.
Susie Johnson. Here. Lisa Smith. Here. Joanne Soma. Here. Do we have an approval of the minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Do we have any old business? No, ma'am. Item 6A, Lupita.
Thank you. This is a special exception, 26-0002. The applicant is Hallie Brooks of Shoreside Tattoo. The property owners are Carolyn and Christopher Casper. The property is located at 213 South 2nd Street, Unit 9, which you'll see on the map up there on Glitix. The future land use is commercial. The zoning district is general commercial. The overlay is in the CRA boundary within the downtown mixed use. The intent of the applicant is to operate a tattoo studio allowed by special exception in the general commercial zoning district, section 2-04-02-8. So the design guidelines establish 3 planning areas within the designated downtown area. And this property is within the CRA boundary in the downtown mixed-use district. Special uses are allowed if the findings and recommendations align with section 20601, 1 through 7. And the findings are as follows: that the use is permitted use as set forth in Schedule 1. The finding is that it's identified as a permitted use, a special use rather than City of Flagler Beach Land Development Code, Schedule 1, item number 10. That the use is designed, located, and proposed and operated that the public health, safety, and welfare will be protected. It does not compromise the protection of public health, safety, and welfare nor convenience for the City of Flagler Beach. And that the use will not cause substantial injury to the value of other property, and the use does not cause injury to the value of property in other property in the neighborhood. That the use is compatible with adjoining development and the character of the district. The use is compatible with adjoining development and surrounding properties are within general commercial and the downtown mixed use. Adequate landscaping and screening. Proposed establishments be located within an existing building. And adequate off-street parking is provided. The property is within the central business district boundary where no additional parking requirements are required. And the finding is that the use conforms with the applicable regulations governing the district as it relates to density, setbacks, building height, max impervious surface, and parking. Staff recommends that the PARB Board recommends to the City Commission to approve the special use of a tattoo establishment within the GC zoning district in accordance with Section 20601, 1 through 7, and it's in compliance with the city's comp plan, meet the applicable regulations governing the district. That concludes my presentation.
Would the applicant like to come forward? Good evening. This push? Okay. Good evening, board members. My name is Hallie Brooks. I'm the owner of Shoreside Tattoo. I'm a little bit nervous with public speaking, so I prepared a statement. All right. This is practice for the commission. All righty. I've been a professional tattoo artist for 10 years, and 2 years ago I opened up Shoreside Tattoo. During that time, I've worked hard to build a clean, safe, professional, and welcoming tattoo shop. I care a lot about the work we do, and care just as much about how people feel when they come into the shop. Since opening, our tattoo shop has grown quickly and built a strong reputation throughout Palm Coast and Flagler County for our work, professionalism, cleanliness, and respectful customer service. Many of our Google reviews reflect this, and I've included those in you guys' packets. Our clients include local residents, professionals, military members, law enforcement officers, and small business owners, and many returning clients. Our clients trust us. They refer their friends and family, many of them waiting 3 to 4 months for an appointment because they know we not only produce great tattoos, but we also treat every client with care and respect, all within a welcoming and clean environment. Shoreside is a small appointment-based studio operating with 2 artists. This proposed Flagler Beach location would allow us to expand to 4 artists while continuing to maintain a calm professional environment. We are not a late or high traffic business. We operate primarily by appointment, and we have no issue involving noise, disturbance, or nuisance activity. Our current shop is located in a very similar shared business setting. We work closely with our neighboring businesses to maintain a positive relationship with other tenants. We strictly follow all state and health department requirements and take cleanliness and professionalism very seriously. This location will allow us to continue to grow responsibly while bringing additional clientele and business activity to Flagler Beach. We currently serve clients from throughout the region, including Ocala, Orlando, New Smyrna, Jacksonville, and surrounding areas. My goal is to continue building a clean, welcoming, and respectful tattoo studio, and I believe Shoreside Tattoo would fit well within the Flagler Beach community. We have also received strong support from the community. Many local residents, visitors, clients, and members of law enforcement have written in support of our shop. I have these signatures and emails here with me. I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight and respectfully ask for you guys' approval. I would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
I just have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember years ago we had a special exception for another tattoo shop in that plaza. Is that shop still there or no? I could not.
Supreme Custom Tattoo was previously before Shoreside.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if it was the same and you were coming back.
No.
Okay.
That was actually my buddy owned that, and he moved shops, and then I took over and made it Shoreside Tattoos.
Salon that we gave permission to do
They were going to do,
eyebrow tattoos.
and also nipples for those that had breast cancer.
Yes.
Do you do that as well?
We do not do cosmetic tattooing yet, but it is something that we're looking forward to doing in the future.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Do you guys have any other questions?
Just one.
Yeah.
You mentioned you aren't a late operation. What are your proposed hours of operation?
So right now we're 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and it's Tuesday to Saturday.
Is it your plan to keep that the same here as well?
Potentially, maybe like if we get more artists, plan to latest like 9 o'clock, but right now it's just 2 of us, so those hours work best for us.
All right, no more questions. Oh, go ahead. No? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much. I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
Is there any public comment? If you'd like to come forward? Oh, if you could come to the dais and state your name and your address. Practice as well.
Rod Brooks. I happen to be her father, and I watched her grow, but
Silence sometimes is
she's going to be phenomenal for Flagler County, so I hope you approve her.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? If you could state your name and your address, please. You can just say your street name.
My name's April. I live in Orange City, Florida. I used to live in Ocala, and the tattoo shop over there, I work with Hallie, by the way. I used to work in Ocala. All the tattoo shops over there, most of them, they were just dirty, not clean. And the people around there were just not good until I met Hallie. The shop is amazing, so super clean. She showed me so much more stuff than I've ever learned over there in Ocala. And she's just an amazing person. And I feel like she represents exactly what the shop is. And that's clean, organized, beautiful, and it's beachy as well, and that's exactly what Flagler needs.
Thank you. Any other comment come forward? State your name and address.
Christian Skoleski, 37 Welford Lane, Palm Coast. So I actually met Harry about 4 years ago, right after my mother had passed. I was searching out an artist, and I lived in Jacksonville at the time, and I was searching out an artist to basically do a memorial tattoo for my mother. Upon searching high and low, I ended up finding Harry down in Palm Coast. Immediately walking into her shop, it's a beautiful place. It's very unlike the traditional connotation of tattoo shops, right? So it's very open, welcoming, bright, blue colors, right? It very much represents what you would think of when you think of shoreside tattoo. And she's trying to bring that beach theme to reality, especially being right here at Flagler Beach. As April stated, she runs an exceptionally well, clean, professional environment. I've seen more repeat clients with her, including myself, than pretty much any other tattoo artist I've seen in the past. So I do think Hallie would be a great contribution to Shoreside Tattoo. She's done First Fridays down here, and overall she's just a great person and a great business, and love her to death.
Your name and address, please.
My name is Joe Brooks. My address is 45 Comanche Court. I'm Hallie's mom, not as emotional as Dad is, more business structured and orientated. A little bit of my background comes from sales. I was vice president, director of retail sales. My strong suit, paperwork, keeping things under compliance, and I also do the notary for Shoreside Tattoo. So anytime there's a minor that comes in, I show up and check all their IDs, their requirements, make sure they're in compliance. Sometimes we go as far as requiring birth certificates, marriage certificates, driver's license with the same last name just doesn't always cut it. So we do go that extra mile. We have turned away a number of individuals that just didn't meet that requirement. So kind of on the back end, help her out a little bit with the paperwork, making sure she's in compliance. She's super busy tattooing and sometimes working 10 hours straight. So just kind of work on that back end as well, making sure all the paperwork and everything is compliant. So definitely hope that you guys approve the special exemption, and I'm sure they won't let you down here. Thank you.
Hello, colleagues. My name is Eddie from 32 Ryman Lane. My wife would probably kill me if I didn't come up and just praise Hallie, because I pay for most of her tattoos that are at her shop. So, this is going to be an asset to Flagler. I think the artwork that she does is amazing. I mean, it's going to be a destination for a lot of people, and it just brings more people into the community to spend money, tax that money. So, I really think this is a definitely easy approval. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there any other public comment? All right, we will close public comment and bring it back up here to the dais.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval for a special exception application PSPE 26-0002.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Paul McKitka,
Yes.
Scott Chapis,
Yes.
Lisa Smith,
Yes.
Joanne Selman,
Yes.
Chair Johnston.
Yes. If I could just add one comment, you had the most thorough packet.
Thank you.
It was so, no questions to be asked, lots of pictures. You did a great job.
Yes. Don't be nervous when you go
Yeah.
before the commission. You'll do great.
They don't smile as much as we do.
Yeah.
When does it go to commission? Sorry.
Next Thursday? Are they on?
That's why I didn't know. That's why I was curious if it was on this next one or if it's. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be on the July 9th.
Do we have any other business?
No, ma'am.
All right. City planner report.
No, I don't have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any comments from the board?
Except if you're going to the conference, the planning conference, get registered, and then we'll figure out carpooling using a city vehicle, consider it, so.
Yeah.
All right, any other?
That's it, thank you.
Did you have a topic for the next workshop? Have you thought about that? Okay. Okay. So you'll pick another thing like this and okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All right. Congratulations.
And the rain has stopped.